Can you guys hear Sparky in the background? Dog does this for 3 hours every morning. Anyways, welcome to Full Day Eating. Today I'm gonna show you everything I eat as I'm bulking as a vegan bodybuilder. Let's get out of the backyard because it's way too loud. We're gonna get some veggie juice in first. Let's go make that. Ran out of carrots, so celery, spinach, and bell pepper is looking very dark green. Kind of a small one, probably a little over 20 ounces of juice today. Just get a little calories in before I get on this hike. Cheers. That is not nearly as good without the carrots to cut that sweetness in there. All right, so I'm actually pretty excited. I'm gonna go on this hike. I go Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I've been wanting to bring you guys, but it's so hard to bring a camera. So I got a 360 camera, which I really have been putting off learning how to use, but I recently learned, figured it all out. So I'm really excited to show you guys what it looks like. You can come up and down the mountain with me. I think this is gonna be really cool. So let's go over and I'm gonna narrate as we go up the mountain. All right guys, so here we go. I'm gonna narrate through these clips as I go up the mountain so I can kind of take you through what's going on in my head and kind of talk you through what's going on with my training and stuff, because this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's something I'm really gaining a lot of passion about, and it's really exciting to share it with you guys on the channel, and it's bringing a new vigor for me to create content. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know, give me feedback on if you like this kind of stuff. But I broke out the 360 cam, I've had it for a while now, and finally learned how to use the app and use the program to really put it together, because it is kind of complicated, but now I got it dialed in. So anyways, with my mountain trail running, or whatever you want to call it, I'm trying to get to a point where I can go up the whole mountain jogging. Now, it's a pretty steep mountain, and I make it probably about 5 minutes or so before I need to stop and do a minute of walking to catch my breath, and then I'll probably do another 5 minutes and then a minute of walking, because it's pretty steep, as you can see. But everybody keeps asking, why are you doing this? And I feel like I've explained it a lot, but one of the main reasons that I'm doing this is just because I've had so much trouble with shoes. It screws up my ankles, it screws up my knees, and then it screws up the way that I walk, my gait. And so being barefoot just, for me, feels more natural. I know it sounds insane for some people, you know, it's not your thing, and that's totally fine, but this is what I'm gonna do. Look at that back meat, by the way. Let me just pause for a second. Let's all admire this slab of meat back here. Damn, girl, work it. So I'm gonna make a video that more thoroughly explains all the reasons, because I definitely couldn't do it in this 3-minute clip here explaining all the reasons for the foot stuff. But yeah, that video will come soon and I'll explain it all. But one of the things that happened on this hike, and it happens in a little bit, but I didn't get it on camera, is with the front of my toes, where the ball of your feet are, that's where I'm landing. I'm very soft. It kind of looks like I'm prancing because of the way I kind of run here. But I kicked a rock straight in that little ball of my foot, and I had already kind of been bruised there from last week, and then it just dead center right in the same spot. So I reactivated the bruise. So if it looks kind of like I'm limping a little bit, I kind of am. So anyways, I'm here at the top of the mountain, and I gotta show you this view. It's absolutely so awesome. Going up in the early morning before the sun kind of burns off that marine layer of clouds makes for such awesome views. Check this out. Okay, now my favorite part is going down the hill. It's fun because it's you have to have a lot of agility, but your eyes have to be looking for your next step. When you're going uphill, it's a little easier because you don't have so much speed, you don't have much weight, with each step. But going downhill, it's so much fun because it's kind of like racing. I don't know, you gotta definitely place your feet in the right way. I want to show you guys this clip because I know a lot of people think this barefoot thing is crazy, and my feet have gotten so strong that I'm able to step on the crazy stuff. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk on Legos, and then after that I'm gonna walk on coals. I just don't know where I can get coals. A lot of people ask if this is painful, and in the very beginning it was a little tender. You kind of work your way up to it, but again, I'll explain all this in that video that's coming soon, where I just go through all of my barefoot journey all the way through. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this, because I really like this way of showing you what's going on at the mountains. So let me know what you think in the comments below. all the exercising is done for the day. I'm friggin' starving, and this is probably the weirdest post-workout meal you've ever seen in your life. But I'm doing some protein oats, so probably like a cup, maybe a little bit more of some oats. If you haven't peeped this yet, in your local Walmart is where I get it. I don't know where else, but this Silk Ultra is so good. 20 grams of protein per serving. So I just fill it up enough, maybe like 1.5 times the amount of oats. And then this is the flavor that I've been really enjoying. I put a bunch of PB2, which is like dehydrated protein, peanut butter powder. And then I take a scoop of the Vivo Life vanilla. And literally this mixes so perfect together. All these flavors like that. And then very carefully mix it together. This is a little more full than I usually make it. Living life on the edge here. And I top it a little cinnamon, put this in the microwave for 3 minutes. And then this oats is done. And then I've got one more part for this post-workout meal. Here's what the oats are looking like when they came out. To me, that's perfect consistency. And the final thing that I'm gonna add is some creatine. I use about 5 grams every single day. In my opinion, I think it helps a ton. This is also by Vivo, which if you're trying to get super buff, I definitely advise creatine and protein. And then if you're trying to stay vegan forever, have some health and longevity, I recommend omega-3s, vitamin D, and B12, which you can get a discount with. Use Bryant10 and use the link below the video. It's a good way to support the channel. And they've got the best vegan supplements in the world. Let's go outside. That thing is absolutely huge. It's bigger than your whole torso.
I know.
It's thick too. You think that's like 15 pounds?
I think heavier. It's like 20 pounds.
Yeah, I'm like the worst person at picking out watermelon. I know that you're supposed to find them with these like rivets. You're supposed to find them with a sunspot. They're supposed to feel heavy. They're supposed to have a certain sound. I always try and I never nail it, but we're gonna see if this is a sweet watermelon. Weird post-workout meal, but carbs, and protein. Oh, it's tasting good as always. Let's see if I was successful in picking a good watermelon. I seem to always, like I said, never nail the sweet ones. Not too big of a bite. It's sweet, but it's not like super sweet. I give this like a 7 out of 10.
Well, that's good though.
It's not bad. It's probably the best one I've done in like a year. I feel like I'm looking bigger. My shoulders are getting bigger. I've been trying to bring my shoulders up and I feel like they're getting there. Anyways, I'll stop being a weirdo. I'm gonna eat this watermelon, I'm gonna eat these oats. Weird combo, very delicious. Then we're gonna go inside. All right guys, so it is time for the next meal, which by the way, that last meal, that watermelon was way bigger than I thought. It was a lot of calories. But I have some curry that I made the last, like 2 days ago, last weekend, and I want some naan bread. So we're gonna make some homemade vegan naan bread. Pretty simple. So first we are going to mix the yeast together. 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of some dry yeast. This is instant yeast for me. 1/2 cup of warm water. Give it a quick mix, and then we're just gonna let this sit for 10 minutes, and then we're doing the next step. So now the yeast has foamed up a little bit. Now we're gonna add the other stuff. So we got olive oil, flour, and yogurt, and a little bit of salt. So we have some of this Forager vegan yogurt. This is unsweetened. I actually really like this brand, it's really good. So 1/4 cup of that yogurt, about a tablespoon of the olive oil here, a pinch of some salt, and then 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is pretty much the same dough as I use for my pizza, except also with some yogurt in there. So now just mixing it all together until it kind of forms like a dough, and then basically just gonna knead this for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're gonna cover it and let it proof for about an hour. Seems like a long time, but it's basically gonna double in size. This is gonna seem really weird, guys, but while that's rising, I wanted to do this reel, like TikTok type thing. So I don't know if you guys saw the trend that was going around, especially on the vegan pages, but people were cutting like a slice of watermelon and then putting mustard on it, taking a bite of it. It was really trendy, and it sounds pretty weird, but I was like, oh, I have one that's just like that I used to use for contest prep. An apple with hot sauce. Now I've only got Chipotle Tabasco. The true best hot sauce to use for this trick is Cholula or Tapatio, but still kind of the same idea. Anyways, you can see like right here, I have my cell phone. I'm gonna record this little quick clip for Instagram. Just a nice couple of drops there. So good. It's good because it's spicy, but also you have like the sweet citrusiness. Okay, I'm done being a weirdo. Let's go check on our dough and see if it's proof. All right, 1 hour later, and we have proofed. Okay, so it's supposed to be about 5 or 6 servings, so we're supposed to cut it into 6 pieces. All right, so now we're just taking each of those 6 pieces and we're kind of just pressing them to form little naan shapes. Okay, and then we're gonna put these on a frying pan. We're gonna cook these on the frying pan. So a little bit of olive oil sprayed down there. And then we're gonna cook these for about 2 minutes on each side so we can get like kind of those little bubble burn marks that you see on normal naan. All right, so batch one, maybe a little thick, so we're gonna make them a little thinner, but this is looking pretty good. So let me just whip up the next couple of them, and then I'll catch up with you guys after we're done with these. All right, here's what our naan is looking like. It actually came out really nice. These little brown mark spots, that's what I was going for. There's a better one. A little bit of a burn mark on it. What I found is making it a little thinner and then also running the frying pan super hot and obviously spraying each side. That worked better than like our earlier ones, like these ones. It's gonna go really well with our little lentil coconut curry that we have here. And this is pretty cool. We make these giant batches and like, I'm telling you, there's a huge Tupperware. And we've been trying a different soup or a different lentil curry or stew or whatever each week. I'll put the recipe on screen for this. It is so good. All right, throwing a couple corns on there to make it have a little color. Green onions for the thumbnail. And there we have it, super good looking meal. Let's go film this and make that B-roll, baby. All right, as per usual, I gotta give you a taste test, right? And it smells really, really good. But also this lentil curry has 2 cups of lentils. This is packed with protein, super solid. Here we go. I'm not even just exaggerating. That's fire. You gotta try the curry and the naan. It's really good. That's a remake for sure. I haven't told you guys yet, but me and Sam are gonna be living in the van for a couple of months for fun, just traveling all over the place, and we're definitely gonna need one of these. This makes it so that we can plug in like the e-kettle, we can plug in like our laptops, you can charge a MacBook like 8 times with this. Super hyped on it. This one's $300, but then today they have like an $80 thing, so I actually just purchased this. I cannot wait. But yeah, that's something I've been wanting to tell you guys for a while now, but well, I guess not for a while. We've just figured out this plan like 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to update you guys that at some point in a couple of months, all of a sudden we're gonna be traveling around in the van. It's gonna be really, really freaking cool. So I'm hyped about it. Okay, gonna eat this and then one more super big, awesome meal. Okay, so we're about to make jumbo shell pasta and we're gonna do a homemade ricotta because you see, I think 2 or 3 episodes back, we got ricotta that's like pre-made. We're gonna try a homemade version of it. But what is this? This is, I actually don't know the name of it. A friend of ours gave us this. This is my PT actually gave me this. She's growing a ton of squashes and this is a giant squash. Has a name, but I don't know. Do you guys know? But anyways, we've been saving this for the full day of eating because we really want to try it. So we're gonna roast this along with our jumbo shell pasta. So let's go inside, let's make dinner. So we are going to take our extra firm block of tofu and put the whole thing in there. And then with a couple other ingredients, we're gonna make this actually taste really bomb. So I'm gonna use about a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more of some nutritional yeast. I really feel like you can't overdo that. Maybe half a cup. All right, let's do a lot. I've got some Italian seasoning, so just like a mixed blend of Italian herbs, you know, like oregano, basil, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna use like maybe I would say 2 teaspoons or so of it. That stuff is a little salty actually, so I'm gonna add some basil of my own here, maybe a half teaspoon of basil there. And then about 1 lemon squeezed, which we don't have lemons, we just have lemon juice. So about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice there. And I kid you not, that is it. I know it maybe sounds simple, but it's gonna be really good. So now we're just going to blend it up. And I think the key here is not to over blend because you don't want it to be like, you don't want to be super smooth. It's not a smoothie. You want it to still be chunky so it has that kind of the ricotta texture. So let's try this.
Looks about good.
Yeah, so this is looking about right. Yeah, so it's like smooth, but there's still some chunks to it. It's got some sticks, some texture. Oh, that tastes really good. Now let's fill these pasta shells up, baby. So here's what we're doing. We're just taking the jumbo shells. We're actually doing a no boil recipe, which is pretty dope. And just filling it all the way up to the brim. And then adding it to the pan, which we put a little marinara sauce on the bottom so nothing sticks there. This is now done. Oh, this is gonna be so good. And so now we're just gonna cover it with more marinara. Of course, you guys know my favorite brand, Tantillo. Smooth it over everything. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so good. All right, and this is the part that lets it be no boil, because usually you have to boil them first. Instead, we're just gonna bake this for an hour at 400 degrees, and we're putting about 1.5 cups of water. That's probably fine. All right, last thing, putting a little foil on there so that it can really like cook it inside of it, and steam it and boil it and get the noodles al dente. This bad boy is ready. This is gonna go in the oven, like I said, 400 degrees for an hour. We'll see you there. Well, hold on, actually, I wanna show you this. The alien wiener squash is ready. We sprayed it with a little olive oil, put some salt and some pepper on there. We also have 2 corns on the cob right here. We're gonna add this in when there's about, I'd say like 30 minutes, 40 minutes left oven time, and we'll see you in a second. All right, so a little over an hour later, and look at this. The kitchen smells so good. There's something about marinara when it stays in the oven and cooks. Woo. So we threw on a little bit of some vegan mozzarella in at the end just to kind of top it off. Over here, it looks like the alien wiener squash cooked well. Corn survived, so we're just gonna plate it all. And we're gonna chow down, baby. All right. Jumbo shell pasta. So the reason we actually did this is because we saw these jumbo shells. We had them in our storage for the longest time. We saw them the other day when we were putting away groceries, and we were like, I wonder if we could make homemade ricotta. Cheers, bon appetit. Delicioso, very good. I think that's even better than the store-bought ricotta that we've been getting. That's fire. These little alien squash, that tastes just like any other squash. All right, so there we go. That's everything I'm eating in a single day. I'll probably have a second serving of this just because I'm gonna be hungry. I might have a protein shake later, but that's pretty much everything I'm gonna eat for tonight. Right now I am bulking. I'm realizing I'm having to eat more calories because I am doing so much of this mountain trail running stuff. One thing I'm realizing is that I'm so ready for some changes, and one of the things in mountain trail running is one of those changes, but I'm also excited to, like I said, go live in the van and go travel around and just have like different content to bring to you guys, but also just different things for me and different, you know, just life experiences and stuff. If you like some of the meals that you saw here, first off, try them. I hope you like them, but also check out my recipe book. It's eatveganordieTrying.com. It's legit some of my best recipes I've ever made, all put into one recipe book, 39 different recipes. It has the macros and calories listed on every single recipe, so it's easy to plug into your diet. High protein, super easy to make. You don't have to have any culinary experience. You don't have to be a super chef or anything like that, so check it out. It's a great way to support me. If you guys haven't checked out my other channels, go check it out. Brian Turner Invest for my investment channel if you want to make some money, and if you want to check out my acne channel for skincare help, Team Acne. I appreciate you guys coming in here. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you, beautiful people, in the very next video. Peace. Oh, yeah! Team Beyond the Week.